think I just had a really bad nap. I woke up, I'm a little bit, like, I feel shitty. Growing up, there were many subjects that I never learned about or talked about, and one of them was mental health. As I've gone through my fair share of mental health issues over the years, it has become one of those really important topics to my life. I love discussing mental health with my close friends, not just like seeing where they are or where I am, but also what are some things that you think about when you are struggling and are on the road to feeling better. This is kind of my side of that conversation. So my hope is that you find something helpful from this video, and if you do, like my video and leave me a comment down below. Towards the end of last month, I was experiencing signs that could have led me to an emotional breakdown. I felt cranky, frustrated, anxious, and useless. And this could have been from a couple of factors, you know, like I'm going on my road trip very soon, and that's just a huge world of unknown. I don't know anybody personally who has ever done this, so it's kind of like figuring out how to do it on my own. So while I was going through all these emotions, I wanted to observe what my process is to feeling better about myself. So I grabbed my camera and just started talking to it. Are you guys ready? Okay, let's go. Oh, here. I was bullied when I was younger, and that has had long-lasting effects on me. I also suffered from depression when I was in college. Back in the day, my mental thought process when dealing with negative emotions was I would let it go in that moment. I would forgive but never forget. And then at some point there would be one comment or one feeling that would trigger me, and I would erupt. All the negative feelings that I bottled up would bubble to the surface. The hatred that I felt for myself and for the world would just grow and grow and grow until I was in an emotional pit of darkness. But I have made a lot of progress. Not only am I better at determining what deserves my emotional investment and what doesn't, but I'm also better at regulating my emotions and taking actions when I feel crappy, so I get back into that good, comfortable emotional state, which is basically where we started off this video. So all these little negative things started adding up from, I didn't call my parents, I told myself I was gonna call them. Things are happening in less than 3 weeks, and there's still so much to do. There was a fly flying in my room that had an issue with me. I did end up killing it. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have, but I don't like it when flies are bothering me when I'm sleeping. I think I'm like internally freaking out. My response is to just sleep more. You know that kind of exhaustion? Like you just want to cry out of all the pores in your body. It was that type of exhaustion. So yeah, I'm a little right now. This is where I think I made my first mistake. I didn't listen to my body when I said I felt exhausted. I have a couple of things to do. Videos to watch, videos to edit, photos to edit, Amazon things for my car, other things I need to set up before I go. Yeah, shit is gonna hit the roof soon. I'm going to try my best and finish everything within the next half hour. It's difficult for me to remember a time when I was not exhausted. It's not that I don't get enough sleep, but I just don't get good quality sleep. My monkey brain does not turn off. If I'm not thinking about work, then I'm thinking about YouTube videos, the blog, life, books. There's so many things. My brain is just like like that kind of thing. Being constantly exhausted, it's something that I'm definitely trying to work on. If you guys have any suggestions on how I could get better quality sleep, I would appreciate that so much. That would make a huge difference in my life, and I could probably be even more effective than I am right now. Which, does that make me seem like a workaholic? Maybe. Anyways, the point is, I should have listened to my body and went to bed at that point in time, instead of giving myself a to-do list and a deadline, which I did not meet, by the way. I think another reason why I feel pretty shitty right now is because I was cleaning out the fridge and a lot of my food actually went bad, and it just makes me feel like I wasted money, which sucks. Nobody ever wants to feel like they wasted money. So I really have to be better at eating the food that I have in the fridge. So I did make lunch tomorrow for work, and I'm nervous about it, that I won't like it. I know it's like kind of really small, but if I don't like my lunch, it just won't make me feel good if I don't like my lunch tomorrow. So I hope it's decent. I woke up the next day feeling a little better, but there were still remnants of that crummy feeling, and it actually impacted my performance at work. So I worked until I found a block of time open, and I decided to use that time to run some errands, take a little breather, and just work from home. It's only noon right now, but I really can't work at the office today. I don't know why. It's so weird because I love coming into the office and working from the office, but I just can't focus. Like, my heart is still beating pretty fast from yesterday. Anyways, I have a block of time before my next meeting, so I'm going to fill up gas, buy groceries, donate all the stuff to Savers, and buy Chick-fil-A. And I'm gonna be good at Trader Joe's this time. I'm only going to buy things that I will use up in the next couple of days, because otherwise, like, I think it's gonna give me the same feeling again, and I just don't want to experience it again. Okay, breathe. Everybody has their mental breakdowns from time to time, like even I do. I feel like a lot of people don't think that I do, just because I seem very upbeat and positive all the time. And that's true, like I am, but that's a life change. So when I do have emotional breakdowns, like this is the kind of stuff that I think about. I meant to say that what seems like my constant positivity is actually a huge life change. I've made changes mentally, physically. I understand my values a lot more. I think it's really something that you have to embody and believe in. There are like so many things that I can go off on tangents about. One thing that I do is, if I cannot focus in whatever environment I am in, like it's just causing me discomfort, I remove myself from that environment. So like I said, I could not focus at the office today, and I decided to take some time for myself and run a bunch of errands, and now I'm back home. I also have Chick-fil-A right now. Another thing that I do is I look at what immediately triggered my emotion and why that is. Then I try to figure out what I can do in the future to minimize the impact of something similar from happening. So in the case of feeling wasteful when I throw away groceries, not only did I change the way I grocery shop, but also the way that I prep the food. After grocery shopping, I normally get too tired to deal with it, so I kind of just stop everything in the fridge. But I noticed that Enya and Micah, what they do is once they come home from like a Costco trip, they actually go and divide like the meat, place it into portions that they're going to cook in. And I think that's the extra step that I need to do in order to make sure I don't waste any food. It's all about doing little things that'll make you feel good about yourself. Like later, I'm gonna clean out the fridge and take out the trash. That's not a task that I find pleasant in any way at all. But I know if I get through that and check that off my list, like it'll make me feel a little better that I am useful, that I am capable of doing stuff, even though it's something small and kind of mundane. If you are in an emotional funk, it is okay to live in the funk for a little bit, but it is also important to have a plan to get yourself back on your feet. Forget, is it Dwayne Johnson? No, it's not Dwayne Johnson. It is some other like famous actor. I heard it on a podcast before, and he was talking about like, oh sorry, it is Chris Pratt. When he used to get rejected from roles, he would let himself be in a funk for about 4 weeks, and after the 4 weeks was up, he found it hard to get back on track. Spending 4 weeks to beat up on yourself is not helpful at all, because you actually have to spend more time to make yourself feel better. After he realized that was such a waste of time, he would limit himself to be like, okay, I can let myself live in the funk for like a week, but then I need to take steps in order to get back on track. So that way you get both the emotional side, but you also just start moving. And I'm gonna go throw out the trash. I'll be right back. honestly, like, this is the process that I go through whenever I'm feeling down and I'm just like, I'm really tired of feeling this way. I need to figure out how to get back to feeling capable and confident. I was just listening to this series in a podcast. The podcast itself is called Death, Sex, and Money, and my cousin Cynthia was the first one who introduced me to it. They recently came out with a series called Hot Dates, where for the summer they're just following a couple of people while they go on dates. Not like the podcast is following them, but the people will check in to be like, oh, how's dating going? Some of them use online dating, others don't, yada yada yada. I think I might do something like that during my road trip. Maybe I'll just like hop in and just let you guys know how dating is going. I feel like I have to start dating again. I've tried online dating a bunch of times. I don't think online dating is the way to go for me. What is this? I don't know. How do you tackle dating in the modern world if you don't want to do online dating? Who knows? I'm doing it like I said I would. Just cook the veggies. The grapes that I bought from Trader Joe's, it was like half rotten. And I know it's something like really tiny, but I'm already feeling vulnerable, and so like not being able to do a simple task right is... Why, Juliet? You can't... How can you forget to check the grapes when you're buying grapes? How am I feeling right now? We're doing better. I feel less shitty. I'm not beating myself as much for the whole grape incident, which, you know, I'm gonna look at it tomorrow and be like, that is so tiny, it doesn't really matter. Another thing that I'm doing right now is packing, because something that's really hard to screw up. So this is a super huge packing cube, and in here I put PJs, bras, underwears, socks, like chill t-shirts. I also packed this one, which is a medium packing cube, and this is all my active wear. Right now I'm just organizing through everything else, seeing what needs to go into packing cubes and what doesn't. So the jeans don't need to go in packing cubes. I think I'm gonna leave it flat. The most important thing to remember is that you are not alone. Whatever feelings you're experiencing right now, whether they're positive or negative or neutral, somebody out there in the world, maybe even someone close to you, has probably experienced their version of those feelings. There are a few friends that I have in Boston that I do talk about this a lot with, and it always surprises me when I find a lot of these shared feelings with them. Even though the circumstances are completely different, the fact that my friends and I have gone through the same thought processes and emotions actually makes me feel a lot stronger. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I love reading people's comments. That's what I do when I go on YouTube videos, is I'll play it and then I'll like read the comments while it's playing, and then I go back up and finish watching the video. I'm getting a little hungry. I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video.